Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Law, I'd like to start with you. We're seeing reports that the acting FEMA director was unaware that there was a hurricane season. That I've also seen reports that the hurricane plan wasn't completed prior to the start of hurricane season. So I just wanted to ask you, does that seem acceptable to you?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I'm not familiar with those reports, but what I can tell you is from my understanding as senior counselor to the Secretary, they are taking a very critical look at FEMA because it has failed to operate the way it should, and they're definitely focused on that.
Well, I guess I would just like to restate this. Do you think that we should have a FEMA director that understands when hurricane season begins?
I believe that the Secretary has confidence in the current leadership of FEMA.
Do you know when hurricane season starts and ends?
We are currently in hurricane season.
And when does it end?
I believe it ends sometime in September or October.
It ends at the end of November.
A senator questioned Mr. Law regarding reports that the acting FEMA director was unaware of when hurricane season begins and that a formal hurricane preparedness plan was not in place before the season started. Mr. Law, nominated for a policy role within the Department of Homeland Security, responded that he had not seen those reports but acknowledged that FEMA has failed to operate as it should and is currently under scrutiny. When asked directly if he knew when hurricane season ends, Mr. Law incorrectly guessed September or October, prompting the senator to correct him by stating it ends in November.
And I just raised this because there was no mention of anything about natural disasters in your opening statement about the importance that Homeland Security plays with this. And you're talking about FEMA. Are you in support of abolishing FEMA? Do you support some of the statements that the president has made in that direction?
Well, thank you for the question, Senator. I think the President and the Secretary have been abundantly clear that FEMA in its current form is not working. And I am up for a policy position, not an operational role in FEMA. But to the extent that there are policies relevant to FEMA, I, if confirmed, would be happy to work with you on those.
Well, I mean, you would be in charge of strategy, policy, and plans. And I think having a hurricane plan is very important. I think having a plan on how to address natural disasters are very important. And I guess I want to ask you, do you see a role for FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security to be a focal point when it comes to addressing natural disasters?
The senator expressed concern that Mr. Law's opening remarks did not include any reference to natural disasters or FEMA, despite the agency's central role in national emergency preparedness. He asked whether Mr. Law supported previous presidential suggestions to abolish FEMA. He clarified that while FEMA is flawed, he does not support abolishing it. Instead, he noted that he would be responsible for policy rather than operations and expressed willingness to work with the committee on relevant reforms if confirmed. Mr. Law emphasized that the lead responsibility for natural disasters has historically rested with state and local governments, while FEMA serves a critical supporting role. However, he acknowledged that FEMA has not delivered adequately, pointing out that some claims from Hurricane Katrina remain unresolved. The senator reiterated that the Department of Homeland Security's founding charter explicitly names it as the focal point for both natural and man-made crisis response, and he criticized the current administration for not taking this responsibility seriously enough. He pressed Mr. Law for a commitment to prioritize emergency response and planning.